right, in the first commandment, we remember God commands us, having saved us, redeemed us in the blood of Christ, Apostle Creed, Article Truths, recognizing that God says, have no other gods before me. And Luther rightly explains, that must mean we should fear, love, and trust in God above all things. Fear, love, and trust in God above all things. So, my question to you today, and maybe this is kind of an activity, can you bring out a symbol or an object of something that you greatly fear? As a family, talk about what is it that you might fear? And then explain why. And now after you have that conversation, if you need to pause here, I want you to go on and ask yourself, why would we fear God? Maybe thinking about those different things that you fear. Why would we fear God? Yet at the same time, why do we not need to be afraid of God? So why do we fear God, but why do we not need to be afraid of him? All right, as you think about that, I'm going to read to you from Matthew 10:28. These are Jesus' words. Jesus says, do not be afraid of those who kill the body, but cannot kill the soul. Instead, fear the one who can destroy both soul and body in hell. Some people think at first like, who can destroy soul and body in hell? Maybe that's the devil. But the devil's not the one who puts people in hell. God is the one who sentences people to eternal destruction, both body and soul. So that kind of speaks to, maybe why we should fear God. And yet, who's the one speaking here? It's Jesus, right? He's the one that God sent into the world. Why? Not to condemn the world. God doesn't want to go have sent anyone off to hell. God sent his son to save the world. So again, have a fruitful conversation on what fears do you have and why? Why would we fear God? And then by his grace and blessing in the gospel, why do we not need to be afraid? We want to have those two thoughts in mind always when it comes to God, why we ought to fear him and yet why we don't have to. We'll talk a little bit more about that reality as we further ourselves along in other aspects of loving and trusting God above all things in future videos.